Today we're unboxing a huge silver Age Grail that has taken me 3 years to get in this grade, find out what it is, and find out how I was able to get this after 3 years. Okay, let's see what I have, and then I'll tell you how much I paid for this particular book that I got on Instagram from Elite Comics 11. And also, I'm going to tell you that most of the money I got for this came from sweat equity and selling other parts of my collection. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that because I think it's important. You know, when you buy a book that you've been trying to get in this grade for 3 years, it takes a lot of work and patience. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that journey. And then at the end, I'll give you just some keys or just things I learned along the way when you've got that gold book, that Grail book that you're looking for. So let's get into it. I'll just tell you now, this book on the CGC census, there's 213 of these in this grade, and there are 374 higher than this grade. So it's not extremely rare, but for such a classic book, for me, it's a big book. And you know, will I try to upgrade it at some point? Maybe, but it might take me another 3 years. So let's get into it. Okay, so we got it open, and it is right here. Without further ado, it is Silver Surfer number 4. One of my favorite all-time covers. Great book, Thor, Silver Surfer. And I got this one in a 9.0, which I have never had in this grade. It's a square bound book, so it's really hard to get in this grade. And it is just a great book. It's taken me a while. Like I said, there's 213 on the census in this grade. There's about 350 higher. So it's not extremely rare, but it's still, to get a square bound book, I've never been able to find one in the raw, in the wild in this grade, but I was able to get it on consignment from Elite Comics 11 from a seller. It came packaged really well. Now I'm going to tell you about kind of the journey it took, the 3-year journey to get this book in a 9.0. So I've got the book up here on the wall. Let me tell you the journey to get to a 9.0 on that Silver Surfer number 4. First of all, in 2019, over 3 years ago, I bought my first Silver Surfer 4. It was a 4.0, and I got it for $315. I'd also bought a couple other slabs covers that I really liked, including Defenders 10 in a 9.8. I got that for $600. That's the Defenders book that has Thor against the Hulk on it, so I just love that cover. But I got it in 9.8. It was really pretty cheap back then, relatively cheap. I'd been selling books, you know, from my collection, you know, trying to sell bulk in order to get these bigger slabs. So I got those in 2019. Fast forward to early 2021, before the comic boom, I decided to trade with my cousin the Silver Surfer 4 4.0 and the Defenders 10 9.8 for his Silver Surfer 4 in a 7.0. At the time, the numbers were lower, but it was about the same value. The total value was about $1,200 for the 7.0. So that was a straight up trade. So I gave up the Defenders 10 9.8 in order to upgrade to a 7.0 in the Surfer 4. And that's an important thing that I'll talk about later. Later that year, I was able to buy a Silver Surfer 4 on eBay in a 4.5 that looked like it could get an upgrade. I got it for $750, which was about market value at that time. But I was able to crack, press, and resubmit, do a CPR of the 4.5 and get that up to a 5.0. So I still had my 7.0, but I bought that book as a way to kind of just get some extra cash. And sure enough, luckily it came back at a 5.0. And so I was able to sell the 5.0 for about $1,200. So I made about, with, you know, after the CGC fees, about $400 in profit. So I was able to add that, you know, into other money that I was making from just selling bulk collection stuff. Then in March of, fast forward to March of 2022, actually in February of 2022, I sold my 7.0 Silver Surfer 4. So the one that I had traded for a year before, I sold it for $1,600. So again, I had traded a couple books that I had bought for $915 back when that's what they were worth. I sold the 7.0 for $1,600 after the comic boom. And that's another $700 to add to my buying pool for the Silver Surfer 4. Later in March of this year, 2022, I bought a Silver Surfer 4 8.5. The prices had dipped a little bit like they've done this year. The 8.5 I got for $2,700. So that was a big purchase. I had sold a bunch of my collection. I sold all my Iron Man. I sold a bunch of my X-Men books, and just focusing on getting a higher grade of this Grail book for me. And so I thought that was going to sit there at an 8.5. I was very happy with that book. But when I saw kind of the prices, especially on the 9.0, that had come down from about $4,500 average down to like well below $4,000, I thought, wow, okay, let's see. So what I did is I traded the 8.5 just recently, last month, and I traded it to my friend Greg with Buzzer Brothers. You probably maybe saw that video at the con, but I traded that book, the 8.5, for his ASM 50 he had in a 5.0, and then he had a Captain America 110 in raw form, and then he gave me $1,550 cash. So it was a cash plus trade. So then I had that cash plus, about the $1,100 in profit that I'd saved from previous sales, and I used that to buy this Silver Surfer 4 in a 9.0 for $3,350, which again is well below what it was selling for a year ago, about $800 or $900. I think you're going to find those deals on Instagram and at cons and in person better than you will on eBay or even in some of the auction houses. And so that this Silver Surfer 4 9.0, I probably have into it cash wise about $2,100, and then the rest of it was kind of what I call sweat equity. Like I said, doing that CPR, getting some money, waiting for the trade, the value of that trade to go up on the 7.0, things like that, and just kind of letting, buying, on the dips and then selling on the peaks. You just have to be kind of patient with that. But it is possible. I mean, now the question is, will I keep the 9.0? I don't see me trying to upgrade it because the 9.2s, 9.4s, there hasn't been that many sales, and those are going closer to 5 figures. So I don't see me doing it anytime soon, but maybe in 2 or 3 years of just working and selling other parts of my collection, who knows? So we'll see. Okay, so now let's talk about some things I learned along the 3-year journey, and maybe these things will help you as you're trying to achieve your goal. I'm going to talk about 4 keys to achieving the Grail goal. And number 1 is you have to be willing to give up something that you love for something that you love more. So in this case, I gave up some Silver Surfer 4 slabs before I was able to get the upgrade. And then also I gave up that Defenders 10 and a 9.8 in order to upgrade the Silver Surfer 4. So those are things you have to do. You don't have to do them, but they really help you achieve that goal faster. If you got a bunch of books in your collection that you like, but you really want the big book, then give up the things you like, because you're gonna get to your goal faster if you're willing to give up something you love for something you want even more. Second, I use cleaning and pressing to upgrade or to find value and profit in books. I did it once or twice during this process, even with other Silver Surfer 4s. You get to learn the book, you get to read the book, which is great. And so that's a way, just using cleaning and pressing as a way to upgrade or add profit to give you more cash in order to get that goal. And so learn how to find value through that process. Number 3, go to live in-person cons or use Instagram and the community to do buying and trading. There's a lot of opportunities to trade. If you're going to a con, bring some books to trade, or online on Instagram's the platform I use. Again, Elite Comics 11. You can even offer trades many times on books that they have on consignment. So it's a way to kind of get to that goal without using all cash. And so that's the third way. Number 4, and I think most importantly, this was a 3-year journey. So number 4, be patient. If you're patient, you'll be able to ride out the peaks and valleys of a comic book market or any market. And so wait out market spikes. When things are spiking and everyone's at a frenzy for it, just sit back and wait. So a lot of 2021, I was selling books and not buying the 9.0. I didn't know the prices would come down, but I knew I didn't want to buy during the frenzy. And so just be patient. And then even with selling, like if you think the book is going to go up in value, then just hold on to it and add value to it, or find other books if you think it's going to go up. that you can CPR and get more money. So being patient is great. And in order to be patient, you have to avoid the FOMO effect of buying. And so you've got to know when to say when, I guess, or when to say not. And I'm saying this from experience. I used to buy every new book that came out. I used to buy a lot of variants. I decided that I get more joy out of buying the one big book that I've loved almost my whole life than just having that next, speculative book or the next big thing. And so patience is key. I think you'll see that through a lot of my videos, and I wanted to share it through this process as well. So this was my journey, my video to getting this 9.0. I wanted to share that with you. First of all, to show you here's an unboxing of a book that I paid a lot of money for. That's not the point. I wanted to show you the patience and the time that it took to kind of build up to get to this book. And hopefully that'll help you. And whatever your goals are, in the hobby, there's ways to get to them without taking a lot of money, out of your pocket and doing things. So I wanted to share that with you. Hopefully you enjoy that. If so, please hit the like and also subscribe to this channel. Share it with your friends. Let them know. If there's things you'd rather see or that you think I can improve on, please put it in the comments. I love reading and responding to your comments. And until next time, keep it loco.